do we got up next?
Hey guys, this is Josh, and I love the new Ant-Man trailer personally, but something that I remember you guys saying, especially you, John, is that there's a good chance that Scott dies in this movie. And the trailer made it seem like there's going to be a lot of Scott. Listen, I think that the multiverse stuff and all of that is, I agree, it can lead to lazy writing and almost no one has any consequences. But if Scott Lang dies, I'm going to freaking lose it. So, I don't know. What do you guys think are the actual chances of Scott dying now that we have a second trailer? Thanks.
We do now.
All right, there we go. So let's try this again, shall we? With the new movie coming out, I mean, everybody's been asking for in the MCU for a while now. Whenever a new MCU movie comes out, does the main character die? Right? We go into Thor: Love and Thunder. Is Thor going to die? We go into Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Everybody's asking, does Doctor Strange die in it? So sure, naturally, with the new Ant-Man movie coming out, that is now just a month and a couple of days away. A lot of people are asking, does he die? Now, we touched on this a little bit in, I think, one of our Q&A sessions for a bit, but I think there's a couple of arguments here on both sides, and I'm going to present them to you here. You tell me what you think. So on the he does die side of the equation here, there's a few things. Number one, the MCU does seem to be in a transitional period right now where they're kind of brushing out the old to bring in the new. A process that has to happen, you know, and things in cycles. Some might say they've been doing it a little too harshly and a little too quickly. Like, I felt like in Phase 4, every 5 minutes we're being introduced to 8 new MCU characters. But that does kind of seem to be what they're doing. That, you know, Scarlett Johansson is gone, theoretically. Robert Downey Jr. is gone, for at least now. Chris Evans is gone. He'll be back. So they've been going through this process, and even Hawkeye seemed to be a transitional type of show where really it seems like the only reason that show existed was to show Hawkeye passing on the mantle, if you will. Because I mean, listen, all due respect to everybody who liked the show. That's great if you did. I didn't like the show, even though I like Jeremy Renner a lot and I like the character of Hawkeye a lot. But that being said, so with that being the trend, hey, Scott Lang's Ant-Man, that puts that very much on the table of him dying. The second big argument you can make about the maybe speculating that he dies in this thing is, who is Ant-Man to Kang? I mean, that is not a battle that Scott Lang, now again, we got to see the context of the movie, but a straight up battle, that is not a battle a Scott Lang can go into and walk out alive, right? So that's the other thing. The third thing is we do see him getting the living snot kicked out of him in the trailer. That's fine. We've seen lots of superhero movies where in the trailers we see the hero getting beat up, but there is that too. And then there comes the question about how long does Paul Rudd want to play this character, right? It's surprisingly, because look it up, Taylor, but what was the year that the first Ant-Man movie came out? I can't remember exactly what year, but Paul Rudd has been playing this character for a number of years now.
2015.
So he's been playing this character for 8 years. 8 years he's been playing this character. The other thing, the last one I'll point out here, is that while I love Ant-Man, and I think his is like my second favorite sub-franchise within the MCU, I love him and I love Paul Rudd in this role. Reality is Ant-Man is not one of the more important characters in the MCU. So if you're looking for high-profile deaths to happen in your cinematic universe, Scott Lang can be one of them. Okay. So there's all that. Those are all the arguments for why I think you can go into Ant-Man Quantumania kind of thinking he's going to die. However, there's the other side of the coin too. And this is what I brought up in our conversation the other day, was I think in the midst of all the turnover and turmoil, I think Kevin Feige understands that you can't do what, you know, the asshats over at Hasbro did when they released that abomination of a Transformers animated movie back in the 80s, where in the first 10 minutes, they literally killed everybody. Listen, I understand. I recognize I need some therapy here because I have not let this go for however many decades it's been, but you'll never understand how angry I was as a kid. I had spent so many, I mean, you understand, I was younger. So a lot of the years of my life when I was younger had been spent and dedicated to collecting all of these damn Transformers toys, cutting their images out of the boxes that I bought them in, putting them up on my walls, all that kind of stuff. Yay, a new Transformers movie. Sit down and literally first 5 minutes, all dead. They're all dead, kids. Fuck you. Go tell your parents you need them to give you some money because you got to go buy the new Transformers. But anyway, sorry, I won't go off on that again. So I'm still very bitter about that. Anyway, so I don't think Marvel wants to be in that same situation, right? We need transition, but it can't just be a big broom that everything's gone, now everything's new. And I think maybe holding on to somebody that people really like, Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is a cherished figure in movies for a lot of people. And I think maybe a very good argument for keeping him around the MCU is to be at least one of the stabilizing factors. We've got Hulk sticking around, but I don't know what the hell they're doing with Hulk, to be honest with you. I don't think they've known what to do with Hulk for a couple of years now, but still, he's there. Paul Rudd could be another one of those good ambassadors. Anyway, Rob, we've brought this up in private conversations now and again, but we are now getting closer. We just got the new trailer. Does Scott Lang die in Ant-Man Quantumania?
No. I think many Scott Langs die in Quantumania.
Those are Scott's tots.
No, I think we're going to see many variations of Scott Lang destroyed. Many variants, but the actual Scott Lang, our Scott Lang Prime, Scott Lang 616, call him what you want. He's going to survive, but I don't think he necessarily gets out of the quantum realm. I think whatever happens, he has to stay with Kang. It's sort of a cliffhanger, and they leave it at that. Now, I have no knowledge of this, but I would assume we see lots of Scott Langs die, and our Scott Lang ends up remaining behind and sad. Because you know what? He's also a dad, and they've been leaning into the relationship he has with his daughter. I just don't see them killing him off because of that. And I think it'd actually be kind of cool if he has to stay with Kang to fulfill whatever promise he has to make to Kang to save everyone else's lives.
Well, the trailer made it look like he already did keep his promise and Kang didn't, because remember it says, hey, we had a deal. So
Could be, I don't know.
Also, Chris, we can't forget that this is the Marvel Cinematic Fake Death universe. Yeah. So, I mean, even if they did kill him, he could return in 5 minutes. But still, that being said, and I'm glad you brought up the difference, Rob, between all the different Scott Langs, but does the Scott Lang die in Quantumania?
I still think the Scott Lang dies, but I do think then we are going to have a moment of we have to do a deal with Kang, or there's some kind of time variation or something of that nature where we bring him back. I think there has to be some kind of real stake in this one. But again, because it is the Marvel no one dies forever universe, except for Black Widow, I guess. We have to do something like this. And I think that we're going to have Scott make some kind of sacrifice, and then Cassie's going to make a whoopsie doodle deal.
Ooh.
I'm actually still wondering if this is even the Kang, the ultimate Kang. Because we've already seen one other Kang before this. Is this even the Kang Dynasty Kang?
It's not his final form.
I mean, I don't know.
That's the other option.
Another Kang could arrive in this movie.
Scott could end up killing Kang. And then we go, pull a Yoda. No, there is another.
Yeah.
And it's like all of a sudden there's a whole bunch more Kangs coming. I mean, that's a possibility too. So I don't know. It's a good question. Guys, question is for you. What do you think? We're still a little bit away, but it's closer than ever. We got Ant-Man Quantumania is now just a little over a month away. We got the most recent trailer. Do you think the Scott Lang is going to die in this movie, or do you think he survives and moves on? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save money this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton, with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. Guys, I have told you before that when I was on one of the major phone carriers, I was spending literally 3 times as much every month, and switching to Mint Mobile couldn't have been easier. So for people just looking to save some extra money this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in just minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.